right, we know you've been waiting for it. It's finally here. It's the road to Vegas.
Guys, so we're showing riding footage of us out to Vegas all the way up until marriage license.
Stay tuned.
All right, guys, hey, so we're gonna start this video off with us leaving our house, riding out to Vegas, and all the adventures that ensue after that.
Every time, it's always an adventure.
When we left, Lacey, me, and my dad all chose to ride out together. And then we had 2 trail vehicles. Lacey's parents had 1 trail vehicle, and then my mom with Cal and my aunt were in another one, also bringing all our luggage and stuff, so it made it really nice to travel on the bikes.
Yes. Two vehicles full of, I don't know, 6 human and 1 tiny human's luggage and everything that we needed for our fun little reception following the ceremony. So I'm not even sure how we got it all loaded up, honestly. So thank you, moms and dads, for that one. We couldn't have done it without you guys.
But it was a great start to the day. Yeah. We had 2 planned stops, and we'll cut and give you some backstory as we go through this video. We had 2 planned stops. We just wanted to stop in Wickiup. And then again in Kingman, we have a special diner that we like to go to. If you've seen some of our episodes going to Vegas before, you typically see us stop there at Mr. D's.
Yeah.
But let's start riding, and we'll come back in a second. All right, you guys are lucky because what time is it?
It's time to go.
Time to go. We're getting married. We're taking you along for the ride, so we're gonna hit the road. Pops is already on the bike, and let's get out of here.
See you there.
All right, time out. So we're riding right now. We're crushing miles. We're having a good time. We stopped in Wickiup, got gas, and for the trail vehicles that didn't stop, we thought we were just gonna meet them in Kingman at Mr. D's, but there's a little bit going on behind the scenes.
Nana ended up with a flat tire, which I think we felt horrible about. I know she felt horrible about, but unfortunately for the whole situation, not only did she get a flat tire, but she had no cell reception, which is like so unheard of these days. But she just got caught in a weird little pocket, and yeah, it could have been so much worse, but still it was a hot day. She was by herself with a 3-year-old who's very busy. So we'll get back into that in a little bit because there's some funny details that we can share with you that she was sweet enough to share with us. But bless your heart, Nana. And anyway, I guess we'll...
So going back to the road, we had no idea this was going on. We were just crushing miles and having a good time, and we'll stop at Mr. D's.
Yeah, we'll be back.
So we rolled up to Mr. D's. We were excited to eat there. It's one of our favorite diners right off Route 66. We always have a good time. There's always a ton of foreign people there. I think it's like a big touristy spot. So you hear, I don't know, we heard 4 or 5 different languages being spoken, which is kind of a cool thing to see.
We've met a Finnish family there before, so
Yeah.
that was cool.
So it's a lot of fun. So we get there, but before we even checked in, we finally heard from Nana, because actually at this point we were getting kind of nervous.
Well, yeah.
We hadn't heard from her
Yeah,
from
been almost 2 hours.
Yeah, for essentially 2 hours at this point.
I will say that I'm going to cut you off real quickly because at the last fill up, which is when my mom caught up with us and said, I just talked to her, like she should be behind us. Well, we're all at the gas station and a truck drove by that we're like, oh, well, that's her right there. Maybe she thinks that we're stopping at the next place because they have ice cream. You know, we don't know. So we honestly thought that that was her. So didn't think too much of it. You know, I'm trying to call her, Bubba's calling her, everyone's calling her. And we're like, maybe she's on the phone with someone.
Well, service was spotty anyway there, so.
You know, so we're thinking, oh, well, that was her that drove by. So the initial fear didn't really start until we got to D's and realized, like, it's really weird. We drove past all the other, you know, after that gas stop, we like, every gas station we stopped at, I'm rubbernecking to pay attention. I'm like, she wasn't there, she wasn't there. I guess she didn't need to fill up, you know? So yeah, did get to Mr. D's, and then thanks to some very random stranger whose name I do not remember, but the nicest lady did stop. I don't know how she had reception, but Nana did not. So yeah, my mom got a random call from a random number, like it has to be them, answer, and got all the lowdown and the details. So yeah, I think.
So without breaking down the story too much,
the whole thing.
It was super nice to finally hear from her, to know what was going on, and then luckily, Lacey's sister and her husband were only 10 minutes away from my mom at that point.
Which is crazy.
So they were able to pull up,
all lined up,
help them jump back on the road.
Yeah.
But that put us at Mr. D's for a while. We were there for a couple hours. We had planned to kind of be there, honestly, before we even left Mr. D's because, again, summertime.
Yeah,
we're going from Phoenix to Vegas. Vegas might be, 5 to 10 degrees cooler, but you're looking at, still in the mid hundreds.
Yeah.
In both places.
Yeah.
So we were trying to miss that heat of the day, and we ended up just
crushing it,
being right in the middle of the heat of the day at this point.
Smashing into it like a wall.
But we had a good meal, and then we stopped at the gas station in Kingman, and finally we were able to reconnect with my mom, little man, my aunt, and get the whole gang back together before.
That worked out well.
Yeah, before heading into Vegas. All right, so how we doing?
Good. Finished, got lunch, located our lost pack members.
So footage got a little spotty in between because we one of the trail vehicles got a flat tire with no service in the area. So it took a little while to figure that out, but we had a good lunch and we're at our last gas stop before hitting Vegas.
Pause. This in fact was not our final stop. Inevitably, like Bubba said, like I said, we got to ride smack dab in, I don't even remember, I think it was 117 that day. I do not do super well for more than an hour at a time, anything over about 105. So yeah, that wasn't a good time. So yeah, what we thought was the last pit stop was actually one of 4.
Yeah.
We didn't need to stop for gas again, thankfully, but I did have to stop, and sadly, everyone, appreciate them all, but pulling over for me, cooling vests, we tried that for a little bit. I honestly, sometimes I really love them, but that day, it just, once they're dry, they just flap in the wind, and it's so big on me, I need to get it sized down or something. But water bottles, bless the moms and dads for just filling those coolers, because I think I was completely drenched. I had my leather pants on that took 3 days to dry and then had to be washed. They were bad. It was not a good time.
In all
very hot.
In all seriousness, it was one of those things where like we know and we try to plan our rides accordingly. Obviously, when it's really hot,
we actually had the day was planned out very well. It just did not.
But like things never go according to plan, and
Yeah.
so I think this is like my advice portion, right?
And for everything.
No, one of the best things about being able to communicate, have comms, all that stuff is Lacey was very simply able to be like, hey, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, you know what? Like if she's not feeling good right now, I'm feeling hot. Hey, and so we were able to, there wasn't even really a stop. We just pulled over on the side of the road. But by the time we got to her, she was pretty overheated. And I think if she would have tried to push through that, it could have been really bad. And so I think that it's super important when you're riding to know like the elemental factors to plan accordingly. When it's super hot, you have to have things like cooling vests or water or frequent stops just to cool your body down. In the wintertime, you got to be able to know that like, hey, your legs are going to go numb, and you got to be able to plan accordingly for that. So just be aware of that stuff. It really is something that like you learn through throwing down miles, and hopefully you don't learn through crossing those limits one day. I think it's one of those things we all want to be tough and we all want to ride forever.
Yeah.
But I think that was something I was super grateful for that day because I got to see kind of how serious it was. And then we got to make some jokes about heat stroke and stop a few more times. So that was a good time. All right, well with that, we did get back on the road. Lacey had to change an outfit and we had fun making it the rest of the way. We're hitting Vegas.
Topped it off, got some energy drinks.
Yeah, we're good to
Ready
go.
to party. Yeah.
So let's go ride and we'll get into Vegas and show you guys where we're staying. All that fun stuff.
Yay.
We found our missing people and our flat tire people. Now we got little man back. Little roadside stop by Lake Mead. About to get back on the road. Hey, where are we going?
Going to the hotel.
To the hotel. Where's the hotel at?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. All right. Should we get loaded up?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you know what's overrated? Heat stroke. Made it. So we're staying at the Luxor because they were the only people to accommodate something that we wanted for our last day here.
Yep.
Which we're excited about, but we've never stayed here before. It's kind of cool. It's a giant pyramid.
Yeah, it's actually wicked cool.
We found everybody. We battled a flat tire on one of the trail vehicles.
Yes.
Lacey flirted with a little heat stroke for the last little bit.
AKA outfit change. Thank you, Peripheral Affair. We love you.
So it was a good time though. Honestly, like it's been an all-day ride, but I think it's been nice and it's fun. And now we're gonna go get a hangout with everybody, get checked in.
Cool. All right. So as you see, we made it to the hotel. I'll be honest. I think my potential heat stroke issue, the chaos of the day. I think we oftentimes do try our best, and sometimes it just gets to eyebrow length, overwhelming. And I think we were both here for the day. So lost footage, didn't have the opportunity to get the footage. But these next clips that we're getting into, you see us saying hi, we're checking in at the hotel. But yeah, we're missing several hours of the evening. That included Bubba changing rooms for not only ourselves twice, but our parents, because there were some issues with that. Getting our room block of everyone that was in our wedding party and our family all moved up to a different floor because we didn't want everybody on different floors, which did in some ways end up happening anyway at the end of the day. But getting all of that, so Bubba was a champ for that. A lot goes into that chaos that it is of having family, of having friends, of doing anything destination, even though in our case, this is a typically 4-hour drive from Phoenix to there. It's still a destination wedding. So love you for that. You're a champ and MVP in my book always, because I know that was a lot. I was kind of in recovery mode of not feeling well. I was looking after the kiddo in our hotel room, and he's like, do you want to move? Do you want to stay? Do you want to stay in the room? Do you want a different room? And I just said, you know, baby, I am happy and content with whatever you want to do. Me and Cal are just gonna hang out in the room. So we did do that. It gave me opportunity to cool down, share some funny stories with Nana, one of which I forgot to mention earlier, but while she was trying to keep our very busy boy entertained on this side of the road, seriously, bless her heart, I cannot, it like is the sweetest thing in my mind. She's changing a tire, she's got a tire off, and you know, lug nuts and all that stuff's been removed. Hey Cal, he loves cars and tools, and you've seen tons of videos, I'm sure, if you've been following us long enough. If not, they're great, look on Bubba's Instagram. Cal loves to tinker and he loves tools. And Nana said at one point, I turned around and said, Cal, where did those shiny things go? And he goes, the what? She goes, no, you know, the nuts, the bolts, the lug nuts. And he goes, they're hiding. Where are they hiding, Cal? And he's like, buried them. So Nana, who's dealing with all of the above, realizes that a 3-year-old has an expansive desert behind him, and where are the lug nuts? So thankfully they were not that far. He had just buried them in the sand. But yeah.
Well, and I will say that one of my favorite parts of that day was the first time we reconnected. I got to talk to Cal for a second. You guys saw pieces of that on the side of the road where he talks about us actually getting to Vegas. But the first thing he told me, he goes, Dad, Nana got a flat tire and she left me in the side of the road in the desert all alone.
Yeah, which is not true at all.
It's not true.
Not
but
true.
it just was funny how he interpreted that, and it just made us laugh.
Yeah.
And it diffused a lot of the stress that was going on. And honestly, guys, like, it's part of any trip. I think the whole thing was an adventure. There's a lot that, like Lacey's sharing right now, there's a lot that went into it.
I think we still look back on it mostly fondly.
Yeah, but I think
the anxiety has gone away now. So
it's just part of traveling. It's part of having an adventure, and there really was a lot of good times.
Yeah.
But we did, because we got there late, because it literally took us all day. We missed some things. Footage got a little scarce. Some of it just didn't turn out very well, so we just didn't use it.
Yeah, just scrap stuff.
So to fill in the evening, a lot of things happened. We ate some meals. We had a good time, and then it was like 11 o'clock. Before we're getting married, like the day before, and we realized that you have to get your marriage license before you actually go and get married.
We knew this, I just forgot.
Yeah, it just was one of those things that kind of slipped our mind. And so with that, we got an Uber real fast.
As quick as possible.
And went to the marriage license office.
Yep.
And what happened?
So you'll see, I guess, on the next clips that we're getting to. But yeah, first one, which is the main one, I guess, was closed because they were...
The protest?
Yeah, petitioned off or something for the protest the next day, which I'm honestly not entirely sure. Maybe I don't know. We don't have to include in that. But not entirely sure if that did or didn't happen. But we got fortunate enough that I think a gentleman who worked there, or maybe he was just outside handing out flyers to passerbys. He's like, hey, they're closed. And I'm like, that's so weird. On my phone, it says they're open. He's like, yeah, this building's closed. You got to go to the one down the street. And I'm like, we got here by Uber and we have 6 minutes. So we called another Uber. Thankfully, got another Uber. We go running inside. The nicest lady security guard is in there and she's like, hey, you guys getting married? And we're like, yep. She goes, down the hall. So we ran down the hall. And yeah, I think got it submitted. Final paperwork was at 11:59.
Literally 11:59, the day before we got married.
They closed
Crushed it.
Crushed it.
Got our marriage license.
Yes.
And it was
in very true to us fashion, I think.
Yeah, I think that whole trip kind of summarized. That was like the perfect way to wrap that one up.
Exhausted.
But yeah, you guys can see this for just a second.
Enjoy.
Is this the right one?
It was supposed to be. Stupid protest.
So, it's like 11:59, the day before we get married.
Yeah. Yeah. I just look at my phone again. Yeah.
And we crushed it because you have to be here before midnight. Married in Vegas 2025. Marriage license in hand. Let's do this.
All right, so we're coming to the end here, you guys, and I know you've been waiting. We've been waiting to share this with you, but this is part one of wedding weekend, finally. Yeah. I hope that we've shared as much as we can remember. We've probably rambled a whole lot, but thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for being patient with us and understanding that, like, life happens, man. So, yeah, we're excited, though.
Yeah, I will say this. We're still new to the whole YouTube thing, so filming everything you do is not always the easiest,
Yeah.
especially when, like, you're the ones it would be cool if I had somebody filming us. Like, we should get
That would be so much easier.
somebody to actually film us.
You're
That'd be really
hired.
nice. But it was one of those things. It was a big learning experience, but we also needed, I think, to take time and just enjoy our moments.
Yeah.
So we love sharing certain things, and then certain things are just for us.
Or sometimes we have good intentions and the cameras doesn't work, or the footage isn't good, or whatever, you know?
But guys, for those who actually care or have followed along, or maybe this is the first time watching, thanks for watching.
Yes, welcome, hi.
We really do enjoy putting out this stuff. So thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for everybody who comments, who reaches out to us. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Yeah.